I never got like treated differently because like I'm a Black person in Japan. Everyone was like really cordial and stuff like that. I guess the biggest culture shock is ironically that they were like, it wasn't very blatant, like it wasn't malicious, I guess, let me say it like that. Like I guess like in America, like when people like stare at you or like make comments, you know, the history of America is so rich in like racial segregation and, you know, high tensions and stuff like that, that, you know, it's hard to come at it as a, oh, they're just like, they truly don't know. And of course that's like shouldn't be a reason why anyone should ever do anything no matter where they're from. But you know, Japan is a very homogenous place. So you know, whenever my homestay parents asked a question about like my hair, or because it was like natural, so it was like in a fro, or like just kind of like my background and stuff like that, or if people were staring at me in public places, I never really like felt bothered by it per se. I felt like it was more kind of like they just don't, they probably just have never in real time seen a Black person, and like, you know, it's like, wow, you know. I feel like it would be the same thing as if like you saw like a super tall person, like abnormally tall, like you would probably stare because like it's just something you don't see every day. And I mean, on one hand, I guess some people can find that like off-putting, but I not like, I first one wasn't really bothered by it, so like I guess like I was expecting more like hate in a sense, but the lack of it was very much of a shock. And then just like how accepting everyone was, like I could also like wear whatever I want or like do a lot of stuff, and like people, you know, outside of the fact that I was like Black, like it wasn't like they were looking at me like, oh, she's like some type of way.
Yeah, I think in Italy, like being a person of color, like it was definitely like like there weren't many Asians or like people of like similar ethnicities to me there. And I think at times like that did feel weird. Like I felt like I was targeted sometimes because of that. Like I remember once in Florence, um I was also like the only Asian in this program, in this art history program. So like one time in Florence, I was like the only Asian in line, like with like we were in class and we were like in line, and like people were just like this one person, this one vendor who was like selling paintings like targeted me. Like I didn't take things too seriously. Like I know there's people like that everywhere. But I definitely felt like a bit targeted because I was just different.
Okay, and now I'll cover what it was like on the Astra FSP. So in Cape Town, I would definitely say it was an experience of more like what does it mean to be Asian American in like a new context, like in a predominantly Black society. I think it's predominantly Black. I think, well, Cape Town actually is a very weird city and it's very white. So, and pretty wealthy. So, like the parts of Cape Town that we were in were mainly white and wealthy. So, it, like, there were definitely more Black people than like America and that I was used to, but it was definitely not as Black as like like not as I expected. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't have been as white as it was. It was much more white than I expected, and it was very shocking because I was like, "Wait, I'm in South Africa. Like, this is a predominantly Black country, and all I see are white people, pretty much." And so that was pretty jarring. That actually wasn't even relevant. I just thought that was really jarring. But so my experience was, there are very few Chinese Americans or Chinese people there, really. I know that there are like pretty large like bubbles of Chinese immigrants in Johannesburg, and there may even be some in Cape Town, but I didn't see them really. And so it was pretty jarring to be Chinese in Cape Town because I was then very much marked as other in ways that no one else was, actually, because I really stood out because no one else was Asian. So like I don't even think I saw any Asian people while I was there. I think I saw three. That was, and there was one was like outside of my group, and my cousin was there, so not including her. But yeah, it was pretty jarring to be really so marked as other, because like, well, I mean, like in America, I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. Like I was also marked as other a lot, but I felt like it was a little bit more noticeable in Cape Town because I really felt like I actually felt like how white people are treated in um, China. Like white people in China are treated like gods, and then like for once in my life was treated as something like that, like something as like whoa, like incredible, extraordinary, and I was like, no, I'm just me. No, it was very very weird, and then I finally like it was very weird. I remember one experience. We went to a township, and we went to volunteer at one. Um, and people were like flocking around me, like trying to take pictures with me. I didn't know that we would be seen as like such a like occasion, but yeah, it was pretty shocking, honestly. I like didn't realize it until later, and I was like, that was kind of weird. And I was like, wow, so that's what it felt like to be white in China.